by the time that they're ready to say, I'm ready to make a change, now they're like, okay, am I ready to see this mentor, this coach, this community part of my life and become a new version of myself? And I'm there to really hold the space for them and be like, we got you. All I'm taking is my confidence in them, in the future version that I see of them, and saying, you can do this. Is this something that you want? Do you see this community as something that's going to help you? If it is, let's make that first step and let's get you going.
I'm your host, Victor Guadarrama, and today I have a special guest for you all, Yesi Villota, also known as Yesi. And today we're going to talk about event sales. So welcome, Yesi.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Well, I first want to start talking about your entrepreneur journey. Talk a little bit how you got into it, what sparked you to dive into this part of your life.
I was raised with my grandmother. She was a seamstress. And so she would redo beautiful dresses. And that was her job. That's how she fed her children. And so I never got to experience her being an entrepreneur because by the time I was born, she was already, not doing the work as a business, but, her children were taking care of her.
Was it here in the U.S. or
in the U.S.?
Else?
Yeah, she came here with my mom when she was 3. My mom was 3. And so I got to see hard work from a strong single woman from my grandmother. And then all my tias as well. Most of the women in my family are entrepreneurs. They cleaned houses. A lot of them cleaned houses. I had a tia who did a restaurant. Obviously, my grandmother was a seamstress. And so learning about entrepreneurship in women is something that I got to see firsthand.
Powerful women in your family.
Yeah, yes. So the impact that entrepreneur women have had in my life has been good.
So you had all these role models to look up to as entrepreneurs. How did it grow into your life? Is it through their models, through just seeing them become entrepreneurs, great entrepreneurs? How did it start for you?
Well, both my parents worked jobs. So I didn't have entrepreneurship in my immediate family, but definitely seeing it through like my tias and my abuela. I think the impact was that when you have a job, and again, I had a job for many, many years because that was like the American dream. You come here, you go to school and vas a trabajar and you're going to do all the things. But then I would see all the entrepreneurs in my family and I'm like, man, like they live a different lifestyle. Like they have their own schedule. They get to do other things that we don't get to do. And, my dad was like, oh, like when I told him I was leaving corporate to go into entrepreneurship, he was like, we didn't come to this country for you not to have a check. Mm-hmm. And he was very disappointed. Like, why are you leaving? You went to school, you have a nice corporate job, you have a steady paycheck. And for him, it's like, yo vine a este país para un cheque. And I'm like, no, that's not the goal. Like, look at your body, look at physically, like all the things that you have to go through, as a welder in this huge, big corporate company. They treat you like, what?
Yeah. It's such a generational thing, right? As first generations, it's just, you just go to school, go to work, do your hours, and then
no complaint.
And my dad worked at a factory for 15 years. And I always tell myself, like, I can't do that and just be at one place for 15 years. And that's the beauty of entrepreneurship is if you don't like something or you don't like your business where it's at, or, you could always change it. You have that freedom to do so.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of the beauty of it. But same with my parents. They're still in the same, for 10 plus years, they're still in the same business. And it's hard to relate or talk to our parents sometimes because they don't get it, why we're jumping off the cliff of entrepreneurship.
Yeah. My dad's 69 right now, and he had a fall earlier this year, and he unfortunately is having to not work anymore, and he's having like the craziest identity shift. He's been working since he's in the 2nd grade. Like he only worked in Colombia, and then when he came here, he worked. And so I get to see firsthand, like somebody who has dedicated their entire life to one company for 50 years. And now he's like, who am I? And so I got to see from a very young age that I'm like, no, like that your identity should not just be in work. Like there's so many aspects of our life that we get to build. And so when you get to have the opportunity to leave the system,
yeah.
and go into being creative and no limits and being open to like, hey, let me try this, let me try this, let me try this. And failure is part of entrepreneurship, let me tell you, right?
100%.
We have to be okay that like it doesn't say, well, I'm a failure, now I can't try it again. And this is something that I've learned, being in powerful communities, that you get to be around other entrepreneurs that have jumped off the crazy cliff. And yeah, maybe that business didn't work out, or that business don't work out, but it'd be like, hey, you know what? Did you look at it this way? Or did you look at it this way? Or, hey, did you have a mentor? Like maybe you should call them, right? Call Vic. Like he has like all these different ways to like save money. And so that's the one thing that I feel like as a first generation, like a lot of the entrepreneurs in my family, they had a hard time asking for help.
Yeah.
Like you figure it out. Don't let anybody know you're struggling, right? Like this whole perception of like, oh, everything's beautiful from the outside, but inside, like everything's falling apart. And I'm like, you know what? Like other cultures have taught me that no, it's okay. You can be blah and ask for help. And they're gonna be like, hey, how can I help you? Like, I know what you're going through. Let me give you a hand and let's go and let's redo this, or let's try it again. And how crucial it is to have a powerful community and a mentor that is a couple steps ahead of you, or maybe a little bit further along, to help bring you up, so then we can help more people.
Yeah, because it feels sometimes we're alone in this crazy world of entrepreneurship, but there's so many entrepreneurs out there. And so like you just said, being part of a community and like-minded people, and for those that are already 10 steps ahead of you, like those are the people you want to be surrounded, so then you can level up yourself as well. And as first generation, it was hard. I had to do it myself. I had to ask the questions. My parents, they came from Mexico. They, didn't go to college, so I had to do everything myself. I had to figure it out, go to the school counselor, and I'm like, hi, I'm lost. And that's really hard to say, as we were taught to like just figure it out. And so it's just, yes, the life of entrepreneurship, and it's a crazy world, but it's a fun world. And if you're surrounded by the right people that pushes you and scale you up, like it could transform you and your business and your life. And so with you right now, as an entrepreneur, what do you like about it? And kind of, I know you said you started by your role model family and the powerful women in your life. How from then to now as an entrepreneur, what excites you, and what are you currently doing to continue your entrepreneurial journey?
Yeah. What excites me? I love to see people who have a vision and they're scared to go and do the vision, and to be able to like hold space for them and be like, I see you, I see your vision. There's people in the world that are hurting, that need you. So what do you need help with? Like, is it sales? Is it the live event? Is it the messaging? Is it the whatever it is in the journey? Because they're so scared and they have all that fear. And to be able to be like, hey, let's take a deep breath, let's calm down, and let's do one step at a time. And if it's something that you truly want to do, because it's not going to be easy, and I'm not going to do it for you, let's do it together. And so, I work with many different entrepreneurs in different industry, but at the end of the day, that fear is there, or that limiting belief is there that holds them back, or them not being able to ask for help. That it's new for them. It's like a muscle. And so they're like, I'm scared to ask for help. And I'm like, hey, it's okay. Especially, I feel like a lot of my minority entrepreneurs, that's new for them culturally. It's like, it's important for us to show up, to show them that like, hey, we too understand that asking for help is new, but it's like, we got to break out of the generational, like, oh, well, this is how our family taught us. And we got to see like, well, what are other people doing to ask for help, and being communities. And that's why live events and, being in person is so important, because I get to see you, I get to hug you, I get to hold space for the tears that maybe you haven't allowed anybody to see before. And that's what I believe right now in the world is people are looking for more than ever, is to like have that human interaction. And maybe they may come to the event and now they're here and like an opportunity is presented for themselves, and they're like, am I ready to be this new person? And that little voice in their mind is like, hey, you tried this again before and it didn't work out, or who do you think you are, right? Imposter syndrome is so real in
that little
entrepreneurship.
voice.
That little voice, right? Being your
I
voice.
know.
And
Get away.
Get away.
Get away from me.
But to be acknowledging it and be like, hey, it's absolutely normal, but it's okay. Like, and a lot of entrepreneurs, they're motivated by pain, a lot of pain. And so if we can acknowledge that, yeah, that pain is a driver, but let's not create more of that pain. And so I do get the opportunity to work with entrepreneurs at a very deep level, unconsciously, to look at like what's stuck there so we can work on it, let it go, release it, and we can move forward and build the business. And so it's important to have collaborations. And, you know, you and I have worked together for almost 10 plus years.
10 years.
And so we see there's so many different areas that we get to support entrepreneurs in their journey. But we're all experiencing the same thing, you know, excitement, fear, sadness, right? All the yummy
roller coaster of emotions.
Yeah, and that's what makes me excited, that I get to help people become better versions of themselves. And like, hey, let's go change the world, because it's going to be easier for us to collaborate versus to compete.
100%.
To help, because, you know, there's a lot of not amazing things happening in the world. Unfortunately, that's the world we live in. But if we stick together, like, we can create that impact together. So that's what excites me the most about it.
If you're enjoying this podcast, I want you to join the movement. I've created an Eventpreneur collective school group community where like-minded entrepreneurs, coaches, experts are wanting to start and scale their next live event. Here, there's going to be live calls, there's going to be challenges, there's going to just be an amazing community of entrepreneurs that want to become eventpreneurs. So if you're one of those that are wanting to take the next step or scale your next live event, if this is something you want to be part of, click the link below and I'll see you in the school group. Love it. Well, yeah, in the industry for 10 plus years now, and I've seen a variety of events and different fields, different environments. Each speaker creates their own community and their own feel, right? And now putting on my own events, I want to do the same. As I want to invite people to share their message. As an event coordinator, I just want to give that impact and share my knowledge on how they could also be on stage and move their communities and their people. But for us entrepreneurs getting on stage, for those that are not getting on stage, right, it is a disservice that you are not sharing your expertise, your knowledge. There's someone on the other side of that bridge needing what you have, either that product or service, to better their personal lives, their business, their health, whatever that looks like. And for you, I know you do sales in live events, and you help the presenter, the host, the person throwing on the event that will be providing or inviting those people an opportunity to work with them, however that is, whatever that looks like. For you and your role in live events, how do you collaborate with the host and the presenter and help people realize in the back of the room, as that's where your primarily role is event sales in the back of the room? What is that journey? Take me through that journey of you two being on the same page, you and the presenter, and how are you creating that journey for the attendees to acknowledge and to have that little voice saying, no, we can't do this. How are you transforming them in the back of the room to make them say yes and give a credit card, right?
Yeah. So the presenter or the person who's hosting the event, first and foremost, I'm always looking for, like, do our values align? You know, I'm not just going to work with anyone. Like, values and beliefs of being aligned is very important. Integrity is important. And that person is genuinely wanting to impact and help people. So that's something for me personally that I look for. Now, the person who is presenting their knowledge, their expertise, is it something that, like, would I buy it? Right? And do I see other students getting results?
Right.
So I have to first feel convicted that what I'm going to be presenting as an opportunity,
you would also buy
that
it.
I would also buy it. Correct. Absolutely. And because I've been in this space for so long, I know that the person who's coming here, if they're getting dressed, getting on a plane, driving an hour, 5 hours to this place, there's a motivation to change something. So my job and the presenter's job is to be on the same page. The more that we know about the attendee who's coming in their personal life and why they're here, it's going to help us ultimately with the presentation, to handle objections from stage, to be able to serve them while they're in the live event. Now, a role that you do really well, you help us create the experience with the food, the lighting, the drinks, right? All the things, right? The notebooks, like, are they having a great time while they're there? All helps a little bit more further down the road. So by the time that they're ready to say, I'm ready to make a change, now they're like, okay, am I ready to see this mentor, this coach, this community part of my life and become a new version of myself? And I'm there to really hold the space for them and be like, we got you. All I'm taking is my confidence in them, in the future version that I see of them, and saying, you can do this. Is this something that you want? Do you see this community as something that's going to help you? If it is, let's make that first step and let's get you going. Yeah. And when they say yes, we know that transformation is about to happen.
Right.
So it's a real team effort where the offer has to be also something that the person's like, yes, I can do this. I may be scared, but I can see it being feasible. And so now it's just, overcoming objections, spouses, timing, do they want to do this? But at the end of the day, underneath all those objections, it's just fear. Do I feel safe? Can I do this? And is this person genuine? Like, do they want to see me win as well?
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like you do a really good job at, so many different events we've done together, and you sold millions of dollars in back of sales. And so you definitely have a gift of just realizing for them you help them realize that they're able to do it. Yeah. And by them taking the next step, they're able to transform their life, their health, their whatever that offer that may be. And you talked a little bit about our collaboration and how important the entire team in live events is important to be communicated with each other during the entire event process, and also work together to ensure that every attendee we listen to them, and by the time they're offering and they're inviting them to take that next step, it's easier for you on the back end because we've already talked. So talk a little bit more about why it's important for you as a salesperson, why it's important for the presenter, why it's important for the event coordinator, even for other vendors that are involved. Why is it important to have that communication, open communication throughout the event, so then we can help and impact those in the room? Yeah.
From the first time that they see your landing page or buy the ticket, they are judging and they are like, what's this experience going to be like? The email communication, are they getting phone calls, right? What's that customer journey? The day that they get to the event and they're walking up and they see a welcome sign or their name or their badge, where they're going to be sitting, is everything clearly labeled? Like, if they're going to experience something at this event, what will it be like when they buy into their mastermind or their coaching program?
Right.
And so all of those things are so crucial to the sales experience for them. And if it's like they say, right, how you do one thing is how you do everything. Mm-hmm. And so for you, I know like it's a very important because you're like, I want this person to have a really good experience. And I'm on the same way. So for us to be on the same page and saying, we want this person to have the best experience of their life. And if we don't have that communication, and I don't know, hey, when is the lunch? When's the next networking event? Where do the VIPs go to? Then right. When they come and ask me, now I look like, oh, well, why doesn't she know? She's trying to over here help me to improve my life, but she can't even tell me where to go.
Where the restrooms are.
Yeah, or vice versa. Like if you're like, hey, somebody's ready to sign up and you're like, oh, I have no idea who the sales team is. Like, then now it's like, well, are they even working together? If they don't talk, what's it going to be like when I come and join this mastermind?
Right.
So our vendors, like, are they in the right place at the right time? How are they treating our attendees? The presenter, is he taking the moment or she to acknowledge everyone who's there and talk to them as real people? Or are they hiding out and not wanting to talk to anybody? It's just, so it really makes a difference when we're all one team. Let's work together for the mission. And that's when I see the biggest transformations, and we're able to see, multiple 5, 6, 7 figures because they feel like, man, you guys are all together. Like
Wow.
you guys
Congruent,
all congruent.
working together.
Yeah, and that's the feedback that, we got from the event, this last event was like, man, you guys all really took really good care of us. And that's like, such great feedback, for you as well, and all of us, that like, man, our people feel good when they come here and they want to do it more with us.
Yeah, I definitely got that feedback at the end of the event at the Eventpreneur workshop. They're like, you and your team cares, and it's really hard to find a congruent and collaborative team in events. But I feel like it's very, very important for those that are wanting to start or scale their next event. Who's on your team, and does it match your values and where you want to take your attendees in that journey? It's really, really important. And so, yeah, it's just, and I love that you're part of my team. We're collaborative, and we work so well together, and it's a great feeling.
Yeah. Also, to add, like, the word care, we're living in a time right now where just unfortunately there's a lot of people who don't care about each other. And so people are yearning for like good, authentic people. Like, man, is this person, like, do they care about me? Like, and for people to be like an entire team cares about me. Like, I think it's really cool as leaders that we get to show people that, hey, showing people that you care matters. And now you get to go and create it at your events. Yeah. And you can go, and that's a ripple effect of us like showing more love and grace in the world, which I'm a big believer in. That's what we need right now.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, we're going to switch things here. I want to give like some nuggets to entrepreneurs. Do you have 3 top things that when you are creating, when you're sitting down with the presenter, with the host, seeing that offer, can you give some pointers on what is the best way to really present that in a live event setting? So when is a good time to do an offer, or when is, you should always be selling, right? You always tell me this from the moment they walk in, every presentation, you should always be selling. But can you just give us pointers, just in general pointers in a live event setting, how a person that just starting or scaling their next event, what does that look like in the sales side? So just give any pointers that would help those that are wanting to commit to do a live event or any event. When is a good time to start selling, right? A lot of people don't want to be salesy. That's the word that a lot of people a lot of entrepreneurs are telling me, like, well, I want to do a live event, I want to sell something, but I don't want to feel salesy. So for you, give us some pointers on how not to be salesy in an event, and when is a good time to do it.
Great question. I would say that people buy on emotions, not logic. And so we have to be careful to not overteach and be super logical, because then they're going to be in their thinking mind, and we want them to feel. And there's people that feeling is not comfortable for them, which I understand.
I get it.
However, you want to create space in your presentation, whether you do it on the first day, the second day, where you're acknowledging the pain that's going on in their life, right? There's a reason why they're there. Right? They may be struggling in their marriage. They may be struggling financially. They maybe they have a sick parent. Like, we don't know why every single person is there. They all have a different motivation, but the majority of the time, there's a very strong pain that is moving them towards change. So our job as the presenter and a team is to bring it to the surface, acknowledge it, and say, hey, our product, our service is going to help alleviate that pain so we can get you a different result. For us, right, caring about them, really helping them see success is very important to us. Is every entrepreneur that's maybe doing different live events, is that for them? No, right? So for us, that's important for us, integrity to like, hey, we really do want to see you succeed, but hey, we got to understand what's the why so we can help you get there.
Right.
So whether it's on the first day or the second day, just making sure that you're allowing space for that emotional conversation where you're allowing people to reflect is when I see the transformation happen a lot faster for them. Now, sometimes I've seen presenters do, a pitch on the first day, and it may be a little premature, and people are like, hey, I don't know, maybe, is this going to work for me?
Right.
Am I worthy of this? Am I enough? Right? Whatever it may be. But if somebody's problem aware, right? We do have a lot of entrepreneurs that are very problem aware. I know that this mastermind or this coach is going to help me. Here's my credit card. I want to join this $15,000 mastermind. No questions asked, because they've done a really good job of creating their deliverable and solving the entrepreneur sees that their problem's going to be solved with this.
Right.
So it's quick. It's no hassle. Now we have other people that they're not maybe too sure what their problem is. So our job is to say, hey, what's the real reason why you're here? And so over the 2 days or whatnot, as a presenter, it's important that you are doing a lot of objection handling from the stage to help them see, okay, this is why I need to be here. This is what my purpose was to be here. Right. So our job is the offer solving their problem, and are they ready to create transformation? For those that like, hey, maybe I don't have the money or whatnot, but they're like, this is something that I absolutely need and I want, we will figure out a way financially to get them that. Yeah. So I always tell people, don't let finances be what holds you back. There's so many different creative ways, to figure out how to get you the results. So I wouldn't say there's like the best time or day. I've seen them both work really well. I would say for that entrepreneur is work on your presentation skills from selling from stage, and how to be able to be a great storyteller, how to be able to evoke emotion, how to really be able to paint the picture of the future version of themselves on the other side, because they can't see that future version of themselves quite yet, because they may be living still in the past. Yep. So that's really what we're doing from stage.
Yeah, and I experienced that at the Eventpreneur workshop, where people are like, kind of want to do a live event. I just never thought of it. And so giving them the space, or a activity, or just giving them the space to think about future pacing, like help them future pace. Like if you do a live event, what can transform your life, your business, and connecting it to their why. I think that's really important, right? Why they want to do it. Why is it revenue? Is it impact? Is it relationships? Is it whatever it is? But we're creating a space. What you said is like creating a space to connect with their why is important in order to get that sale at the end.
Yeah, exactly. And also the other thing I was going to add, if we don't make an offer, we are actually doing them a disservice, right? Them not investing in themselves and us being uncomfortable and making the offer and collecting the credit card, we're doing them a service, because guess what? They're going to go back to their ish, and they're just going to loop over and over and over again. And so if we really are somebody who wants to make impact and create change, we have to say, this has to stop. Let's go. You can do this. And they need that tough love. They take action. I know you're scared, but we're going to do this together. And that's what our job in the back of the room is, to help them to see themselves differently. Now, are we for everyone? No. Are there going to be people that are like, I don't want what you have. Your product isn't going to solve my problem, right? All the things. That is fine. We are not going to be for everyone. We want to work with the people who are ready to make change, that they see you as their mentor.
Motivated,
action takers. All the action takers that you want, right? But are there people that maybe leave the event that they need a little bit more work after the event? Yes. And this is something that I see a lot of entrepreneurs that are in this space. They don't take the time to follow up after the event. Get feedback, right? What did you like? What didn't you like, right? Being open to saying, hey, maybe I created a product that wasn't solving people's needs, and that's why I didn't get sales. Yep. So are you taking the opportunity to listen to what your people really need, and then now create a product to solve their problem? Yep. Not just creating a product just to create a product. Yeah. So we got
to tailor that offer to meet their needs.
Correct, absolutely. But then, following up and figuring out, maybe they need an a la carte, maybe they need something a little bit differently. And so now you as the entrepreneur or your sales team is able to really figure out, how do I support their needs? And that's where the beauty happens, is a lot of times after the event, taking that opportunity to work one-on-one with people.
Yeah, absolutely. And we could talk about live events and transformation all the time. But for you, what have you been working on? What have you want to do, or maybe a new project? Tell us a little about how you're connecting with entrepreneurs, or even how can people work with you, right? You're a master of sales, and how, like, what projects or how can they connect with you to, if someone is out there looking for a powerhouse salesperson. Tell us a little bit about, like, if any projects you're working on, what's new, and then how can people work with you?
Thank you. I get excited to be able to help people transform their lives. So I'm always a coach first. Like, I coach people and I love people, and they were a previous version of myself. And so it's a way for me to give back and help entrepreneurs see a different version of themselves. And sales has always been something that has just come easy to me. I've been very blessed because I truly care about the person. Sometimes I care more about them than they care about themselves. And so, I have to learn how to be able to, like, hey, I can't want this more for you than you want it for yourself, But I love being able to work with entrepreneurs who have a vision and say, hey, I want to create this event, but I don't know how to sell it. I don't know how to package it. I'm uncomfortable with sales. So creating more sales trainings to help entrepreneurs in this space, showing people, like my introverts that I work with, like, how do you people? How do you ask curious questions? How do you hold space for people to help them move them? So really building out and developing more people training, sales trainings, teaching them, like, hey, you can make this a lucrative business, and it could be easy, it could be fun, and it doesn't have to be icky. So many people find sales to be icky, and it's like, no, like, let's get you the reps so you can feel more comfortable. So that's why I'm like, let's get you on the mic. Let's get you practicing. What does it feel like to collect a credit card? How does it feel to do a financial analysis with somebody? And ask the questions so you can create transformation and get them going. So doing some more sales trainings, also doing more live events. So I do get hired on to come in and work the events, consult with the events, consult with the entrepreneur. And then, I work one-on-one with clients doing, unconscious mindset work with the entrepreneur, because, hey, maybe we need to do out some clean out stuff first before we move forward with the business.
Awesome. Well, how can people find you?
They can follow my Instagram at Yesi Villota. Or they can find me on Facebook, Yesi Villota, as well.
We'll definitely put your handle on that. But I want to thank you for being a guest on the Eventpreneur Podcast. I'm super excited to, continue working with you, and also bring you on in future episodes and see, of the event world changes all the time. And so sales as well, and the industry, and just the world. So, thank you again for being here. And